Hi, I'm Angie MacGray.
And I'm Adrian Atwood.
And we're co-hosts of a new show called Local Sounds about local musicians in the Amherst area. Today, Adrian is going to be our first musician, as this is our first episode ever. Welcome, Adrian.
Thank you, Angie. Thank you for having me as your co-host.
Of course. So, you play guitar.
Yep.
When did you start playing guitar?
I started when I was 14. Officially, my uncle had an acoustic guitar in his closet that he won in a poker game probably 15 years before. He never played it. And I said I wanted to play an instrument, so he gave me an acoustic guitar that had been in his closet for 15 years.
Wow. Do you play any other instruments?
I played bass. Well, it's kind of long. I started off playing drums, and then I played bass, and then I played guitar because, well, I didn't play drums for that long because my family didn't like it. I don't blame them not liking a drum set in the house.
Of course. Kids playing on the drums.
Yeah.
So loud.
Yeah, so I settled on guitar. But I can still kind of play drums. But drums and bass I have fallen out of practice with.
Yeah. So what's your style? What's your musical taste? Who are your influences?
I think, well, I learned to play guitar by listening to Metallica.
Good choice.
So for about 4 or 5 years, I just learned all Metallica songs. I mean, I learned other songs too, but so I don't think I'll ever lose that the love of distorted guitar and like heavy riffs. So that a lot of the songs that I find myself writing are heavy.
Yeah.
Heavy guitar sound, very driving rhythmically. But I was into grunge and still am, and I think I'll always have a soft spot for anything that came out of the 90s.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hear you on that one. I'm a 90s girl myself.
Yeah.
So do you write a lot of your own songs? Mostly covers?
I like to do, I try to write some of my own songs. I'm kind of like just getting to the point now where I can actually feel like I can complete a song. And then I've kind of recently gotten into trying to play covers that are sort of reinterpreted from the original. So, it's reminiscent of the original. The lyrics are the same, but then I change around the chords and stuff, and maybe the rhythms a little bit as my kind of own spin on the song. Partly because I don't have the patience to try and learn it exactly as it was written.
But it sounds better that way, I think.
Yeah.
You're adding your own personal stamp to an old song.
Yes.
So tell us about the song that you're going to perform for us today. What's the name of it?
It's called Granite City. And it's kind of about Quincy, Mass.
Oh, yeah?
I guess Granite City is sort of the nickname for that town. And it was kind of inspired, sort of like a nostalgic, reminiscent collage for me of a certain time in my life and a teenage relationship that I had that took place in Quincy.
Are you from Quincy?
I'm not from Quincy, no. But my girlfriend at the time was. I spent a lot of time there.
Right.
So I thought the title Granite City was sort of vague enough that if anybody heard it, they wouldn't necessarily, if I had named it Quincy, Mass, that would have been, way too specific and hard to connect to. But I like the idea of it being Granite City because then it seems like a sort of vague, almost fantasy place that, maybe in my mind it is, but yeah. And I just kind of finished writing it, so it was good timing to play it now. So.
Very good timing. So this is one of your first broadcasts to the Amherst area, this new song of yours.
It's a premiere. And in 15 years, people will be bootlegging this video and be like, that was his first.
Remember that one guy, that one time? ACTV. Well, we're very lucky to have you here, and thank you so much for being our first guest. Now we're going to hear Adrian performing his song, Granite City.
my, yeah, I left my heart on the sidewalk, on the subway, in the places where we used to lay. You were the light of my life. You were the blood in my veins. I said to you, I said, don't ever change. Don't ever change. Well, I'm a little too young to be feeling this old, hanging on to memories, never letting go. A little too young to be feeling this cold. Heart is full of memories and I'm sinking like a stone. I remember that winter and the scars on your arms. I remember your eyes like February stars. I remember your purple lips, the sing of your hips, black bottom kicks, every good night kiss, every red line trip, every time my heart beat would skip. Well, I'm a little too young to be feeling this old, hanging on to memories, never letting go. Well, I'm a little too young to be feeling this cold. My heart is full of memories and it's sinking like a stone. It's sinking like a stone. It's sinking like a stone. It all came crashing down, wreckage scattered on the ground, zero written on my wall. Winter came before the fall. It all came crashing down, wreckage scattered on the ground, zero written on my wall. Wreckage scattered on the ground. Well, I'm a little too young to be feeling this old, hanging on to memories and I'm sinking like a stone. I'm a little too young to be feeling this old, hanging on to memories, hanging like a stone. Yeah, sinking like a stone, sinking like a stone. Well, I'm a little too young to be feeling this old, hanging on to memories, never letting go. A little too young to be feeling this cold.